Hello there.
This is an incoming transmission from the Outer Rim Beacon.
Everything leading up to this moment has been rehearsal. The real performance is about to begin. I'm counting on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have now tuned in to the Outer Rim Beacon, your frequency for everything in that galaxy far, far away. From Neimoidians to Nyctos, we've got you covered here on the Outer Rim Beacon. I am one of your hosts, Justin. Joining me today, as always, are my co-hosts.
Neimoidians. Shooter! Or something. It's Josh. What's up?
This is Kyle, and anytime we can get Josh to do an impression from the prequel, well, really any impression, that's a good day.
And this is Maggie, and we were sorely missing Josh and his impersonations on Friday.
Hey everybody, this is Newt Gunray.
Wow, Newt Gunray, are you voiced by the same person who does Caleb
I think
Doom?
he's been hitting the juice a little bit. Yeah. He's been working out. Yep. He's the Naboo people had took it to him, so he's like, I gotta hit the gym. Welcome everybody. We did our Friday night live stream, Orb Force 99 on Friday, every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Be there.
We do our live shows. They are a lot of fun. We play some games sometimes. We played one this past Friday. We did Name That Clone.
It was a hit.
It went pretty well.
Name That Clone.
It went pretty well. It
we
was
were
Name
like,
That
Josh
Clone.
isn't here. Let's make this the most fun it can possibly be while he's out.
Tons of Rihanna talk.
Yeah,
Kyle?
all the Rihanna, all the ponchos. We played a new
Spice
game.
Girls.
Yeah,
Macho Man,
Yeah.
all the things,
Macho Man without
Ninja
me
Turtles,
is kind of sacrilegious.
Ninja Turtles, all the things Josh
Dominic
loves
Pace
in that
called
show.
in randomly. It was great. That's a huge.
Hey, am I supposed to be on tonight, guys?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It was a fun Friday night. We had a great episode of Bad Batch to talk about.
There's only
on Friday
4 left,
night.
guys. You really should get on this Orb Force 99 train.
75%. 4 more live shows.
Completed.
I would like to mention, and in case I haven't watched yet, so I haven't watched the live stream yet. The recording of the live stream. So I don't know if you mentioned it, but
It's available on YouTube.
I did
It's
try
not live
to
anymore.
stream in from Endor, and it just didn't work.
It
was pretty entertaining.
Successful.
My 5G chip in my arm did not boost the signal, and
you should go get the vaccine. They're giving you extra 5Gs.
It's already in there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you might need another.
His geo tracker didn't help with his phone reception.
Didn't help.
I said it kind of looked like Josh was recording the next Blair Witch movie, though, on the Friday night live stream with the graininess and the trees. Yeah, it was a little interesting. So, yeah, it's a good time. Check it out every Friday night. We have a lot of fun on the show. We do play games sometimes. We've got another one coming up this Friday. And to Kyle's point, 4 left. There's 4 more.
There's only 4 left. You honestly never know what might come up. The crazy things have been mentioned on the live stream. Anything could happen.
Speaking of anything happening, there could be anything happening at this
celebration.
Anything. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's a celebration. Anything goes.
Things are going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to spend a lot of money.
What'd you call it? The deuce? The deuce? The deuce?
The deuce. We already went once. We're going back for second.
44 weeks? Yeah.
40.
It's coming up quick.
4 weeks.
I'm excited. That one's coming up. We do have a little bit of news that dropped this week. If you guys don't know, Sideshow Con is going on right now, this week. Day 1 was Monday. It is happening. There's a lot of stuff being dropped, not just for Star Wars, for lots of pop culture items, whether it's video game stuff, Marvel, Star Wars, comic book stuff, horror stuff. They have horror, like if you're into like the different horror genre characters, those are in there. Everything pop culture at Sideshow Con is going on like right now. They give away free, rewards codes from time to time. They play games. They do just a bunch of stuff during the week. So there was a lot of stuff that dropped on Monday concerning Star Wars. There was a absolutely beautiful Kylo Ren and Rey Rise of Skywalker premium format statue. The Ren was pretty cool. It has an interchangeable head, so you can have him without the helmet or with the helmet. And then the Rey, I don't remember what you could do with the Rey, but she came with a little standalone wayfinder on a pedestal for some reason. That was a little awkward, but the statues themselves look great. Those came out. They released, we already kind of knew about them, but they showed actual prototypes of the Casca Reeves, Axe Woves, a super battle droid, Cobb Vanth, and the Fennec Shand 6th scale figures, all of them in one pedestal thing. It was amazing. There were so many of them. I don't have prices on any of this stuff. The 6 scales you can kind of imagine.
Get a new Morguts, basically.
The premium formats are going to be 500 plus probably. The 6 scales are usually 240 and up, depending on what you get. There was a Mandalorian prop replica helmet from EFX. Kota Bukaya showed a Mandalorian and Darth Vader Industrial Empire piece, which was really cool. It was like a steampunk kind of Darth Vader. It was actually pretty neat looking. There was a quarter scale General Grievous statue. It was massive. There was a Regal Robot 1/1 scale, which is life size, if you didn't know. A life size Salacious Crumb, which that they did say the price on, which was $4,000.
Imperial credits. Oh my god!
It is limited to 150 pieces.
Is he gonna laugh at your jokes? Jeez, oh Pete.
It comes with like this cube, I guess. I don't know. Like it almost looks like a block that's fake. It's polyresin. It looks like stone, and it has like some Jabba the Hutt, kind of palace markings on it, and like some faux leather cloth that he's sitting on. You don't have to put him on that. You can put him on other things, but
$4,000. I'll put it wherever I want, Justin.
4K for that guy. There were some smaller items which are way more efficient on your bank account. The Iron Studios 1/10 scale Grogu on the little stone, which was really nice. Apparently it lights up. They didn't have it lit up there, but I think they said it lights up. That was pretty cool. He's got his eyes closed and his little hands out doing his little communing with the Force thing. There was a Boba and Fennec on the throne. I think we've talked about that one.
They showed the 10th scale.
The Boba and Fennec 10th scale, I think, was 3 something. But I think you get 2 figures with it. If you get just the Boba on the throne, it was 2 something. Normally, 1/10 scale from Iron Studios ranges anywhere from $120 up, usually. So. There was a Dark Trooper that they showed. There was a Bo-Katan, and then Mando and Grogu, and it's Mando holding Grogu like in that last scene before he's getting ready to hand him over to Luke with the helmet on. So that one was actually pretty cool. If that one's, $100 and some odd, that would be worth it to get. So lots of stuff, though, continuing to drop. Today, I didn't have it in my notes here, but today they actually just released a 1/6 scale Coruscant clone trooper with the like shock sticks and everything like that. So that just came out before I jumped on here. So I have no idea, probably $200 and some for that one too, but hot off the presses. Lots of stuff going on at Sideshow Con. Get your pop culture geekdom on at Sideshow. It's a lot of fun. They do a lot of live streams throughout the day. It's fun to listen to. So go check it out. We had 3 new comics drop this week. I'm going to turn this over to Maggie to kind of talk through these a little bit, but this is some fun updates on these.
Yes, so we have 3 new comics dropping this week. We have War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt, which is the first of the 4-part tie-in, which is the prequel to Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha. So this is everything that kind of led up to that mainline comic series. This one is written by Justina Ireland, who of course we all know from the High Republic, and this issue does have a High Republic tie, so be sure to check that out. And then speaking of the High Republic, we also have the High Republic Adventures issue 6, which is the start of the second story arc, which features Court and Frizala taking a more of a lead role this time. And you'll find some familiar faces from the books, particularly the first wave from Into the Dark. Some characters from The Vessel show up in this issue. Super great. Daniel always brings a good time. And then we also have the Darth Vader comic. I'm not 100% sure which issue number it is, but it is the one that is kind of running in tandem with this War of the Bounty Hunters summer special.
I got to catch up on my comics.
I know, this is like, it's so rare that I'm ahead of all of you. I used to be so behind.
Did you say that was rare?
No, you.
Oh, you mean in just the comics?
No, yeah, okay, no, because I'm like, I used to be so behind all of you, but I'm caught up on Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader, Star Wars Adventures, all of it. It's crazy.
I have a lot of comics to catch up on. I have not been into the comics. You know, I was watching the Fear Street series on Netflix. It was really, really good. I love horror movies.
Which version do you like? Like the 1600s?
It's a good question because I thought the 1600 one was probably the most gory of the 3.
So gory.
In my opinion, that was the more gory out of the 3. The first one was really just setting up the characters. Mm-hmm. But it was great. The plot was great, and it really kind of took you in directions that you didn't see. It was very suspenseful. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it coming. I loved the end. So, for people who think they figure it out pretty quick, more power to you. But I didn't figure it out that fast. So, that was good. No, it was a really good series, though. I enjoyed it. I thought the music was great. From a horror genre standpoint, I thought it was really good.
Darth Vader 14. For those
there we go.
Wondering.
Number 4. We're at 14 already. Holy cow. But yeah, so I checked that out. There's a lot of good stuff out there on Netflix, and HBO right now. So I've been kind of catching up on the TVs. But yeah, so that was pretty much it for the news this week. We didn't have a lot going on, but we do have a really, really good episode of Bad Batch to talk about here. We were talking about Rescue on Ryloth, episode 12. And for all the juicy details of this episode, I'm going to switch it over to Kyle to walk us through it.
This is, like Justin said, episode 12, The Rescue on Ryloth, directed by Nathaniel Villanueva and written by Jennifer Corbett. These are people who we are familiar with at this point. Same special guest stars as last week. We've got Robin Atkin Downs as Cham Syndulla, Fairlith Young as Eleni, Vanessa Marshall, of course, as Hera, Corey Burton as Gobi Blee, and C-110P, aka Chopper, as himself, but we all know that's Dave Filoni. Yep. This episode starts off with Rampart and everyone's new favorite clone, Howzer. And I think we have the clip of that, so we can go ahead and listen to it.
We should just call this episode Howzer's Heroes. And because this is kind of what it felt like at the end. But yeah, here's the opening conversation.
Cham Syndulla, the liberator of Ryloth. Now the traitor of Ryloth. Attempting to assassinate your own senator. How unfortunate for your people to see you fall. They won't believe your lies. Tar said you'd be a challenge, but he was mistaken. Your loyal followers will be even easier to deal with. Your daughter, too. Surely you know how dangerous it can be out there. You don't know Hera. Eleni, you're the reasonable one. Tell us where she is, and I will ensure she is returned to you safely.
I have seen how you treat your allies, Admiral. I prefer to be your enemy.
Have it your way.
Boom.
Yeah, Rampart's definitely earning his reputation pretty quick here on Ryloth.
Mm-hmm. The worst.
Yeah, there's a really dramatic look between Howzer and the Syndulas there before he walks off, and then he and Rampart go off into some kind of hallway where Rampart's telling Howzer that he's got to go round up all of Cham's supporters. And Howzer's arguing that the people are not insurgents, they haven't committed a crime. Rampart's the worst. He says, well, they're a menace. They attacked our transport and Orn Frita. And Howzer kind of pushes back on him. He says, well, that's not how that happened. I know that Cham and his people did not shoot Orn Frita. That's not, I was there. And Rampart does, the evil villain thing where he's like, oh yeah, well then what happened? But Howzer doesn't know what happened because he wasn't in on the plan, which is, of course, part of the plan, and Rampart's just the worst. He keeps showing it again and again. So Howzer's like, yeah, okay, fine. Well, I'll go find Hera myself. At least that's something I can do. And he wants to protect her, but Rampart says, no, I've already got that taken care of. I've sent some other people. And he's worried about this because he knows that things are spiraling out of control, and Hera is just, kind of a little girl off on her own now. And we see her up in the mountains trying to figure out what to do. She's checking out her house and sees that it's swarming with troopers who are presumably looking for her. Among them are Crosshair and his little team of just horrible people. I guess they're the worst, right? They're murdering innocents galaxy-wide. And then Hera decides to call Chopper, and we've got that recorded too.
New plan, Chop. Meet me at the base. We need to send out a transmission, and fast.
I don't know what Chopper's saying, but, it may have been this.
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
the Bad Batch. Never gets old.
What is that a reference to? I'm too young. I'm just kidding.
Back in Justin's day, there was this old television show.
Was that in black and white?
I didn't know they had television back then. I thought they just
radio,
we used to listen to it on the radio, Josh.
It was shadow shows on the cave wall.
Yeah,
it was a radio drama.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you?
I pity the fool. Hey.
Did I ever tell you that Tab saw that tweet from the Outer Rim Beacon's Twitter that was obviously Kyle? That said,
debatable,
that you were 24 when Star Wars came out, and she was like, wait, what? And I was like, no, they're obviously messing with him. He'd be 68 if he's not 68.
Yeah, Justin would be older than my dad if he Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Justin or Josh is here spoiling it on the recording for everyone. Justin was not, in fact, 24 years old when
I was
the original
not.
Star Wars
25.
came out. He was 25. I was trying to make him seem young and hip. And it didn't work.
I'm still skinny young. I don't age. I'm like Paul Rudd, man. He and I were just cut from the same genes,
more
man.
Like Ra's al Ghul.
Or that. There you go.
Yeah,
that could be my DC villain character. I do have the gray hair on the sides, so.
Well, no comic book characters really age. That's how they can be the same character for.
Tell that to old man Logan.
5 years. Well, he's young again. Like
it's in the name.
Back to being
old man Logan.
Young. Okay. Do you guys want to talk about Bad Batch, or do we want to talk about comic books? Because I have been reorganizing my comic books. I can talk comic books.
Nope. Well,
no?
Let's go. Let's
Bad
roll
Batch? Okay, fine. Well, Hera is the she I was talking about, decides that she needs to call for reinforcements, potentially the A-Team, potentially the Bad Batch, who knows? I have a guess, but we pan to the Bad Batch, hinting that it might be them, And we see Omega is trying to fix Gonki, whose power source isn't charging fully, but Hunter says it's useless. It can't be fixed. He's defective. And Omega, of course, gives him the, well, don't feel bad, Gonki. So are we.
Can I just say that I was very, very relieved at this point because I thought this was going to be another one of those episodes that was like a Rebels episode and there was no Bad Batch in it. I thought it was going to be one of those and I was very upset. But then this was a relief that here's the Bad Batch, to be the namesake of the show like we all want them to be.
Because that's what matters.
We knew it was coming.
Who cares if we enjoyed the episode or not? These people have to be the focal point.
Yeah.
We
knew it was coming.
Yeah, so are we. We're all defective here. That's how you get into the Bad Batch Club. Is you got to be the island of misfit toys up here in space. And that's when the transmission comes in, and I think we've got the recording of that too, so we can hear it.
We are receiving a recorded transmission, but I do not recognize this frequency.
Patch it through.
Omega, it's Hera. You have to come back to Ryloth.
Isn't she the kid from the weapons drop?
Yes,
Hera? The Empire's taken my parents, and they are after me now too. I'm sending coordinates. Please hurry. I need your help.
You gave her our comm channel.
For emergencies, and that sounded pretty urgent. We have to go.
Perhaps the situation is not as dire as described. Children often overreact.
No, we don't. You heard her. She needs us.
Omega, it's a big galaxy. We can't put ourselves on the line every time someone's in trouble.
Why not? Isn't that what soldiers do?
What else are you going to do? What's on your schedule?
Now, before we get into Tech having no feelings and really not understanding children, we were right. Omega and Hera exchanged their Twitter accounts, Instas, whatever else they had.
Tag me.
follow me. And that's how they got a hold of each other. So we weren't wrong on that prediction. Yay, ding, ding,
Kids
ding.
are predictable. I mean, just because Teak doesn't know.
How many children does Teak know? One?
He's met one. And then he cut LaQuane's kids for 30 seconds. He's met 3 kids in his life. He's an idiot. And what does he think is she exaggerating? She said, my parents have been captured by the government and now they're after me. It's like, oh, she's probably just wants an extra dessert. Like, what are you talking about? She's exaggerating. That's like a very specific claim. It's like
get rid of Tech. Omega can
problem.
Or Echo can do his job.
Yeah,
Teak's
getting Goggles is canceled. He's canceled right here, right now.
It's nice though that they're finally starting to listen to Omega a little bit more. At least Hunter. He's like,
she's throwing her weight around.
He's like, all right, I get it. I hear you. Let's go.
Well, she makes solid points too. He's like, oh, we can't just go around. We just can't go around protecting people who are in need. Like, you're can't.
Soldiers.
That's like your whole thing. That's like that's the whole bit.
Characters just make me want to grab them by the shoulders and shake them.
Also, Wrecker, who's met 3 kids ever. Is that the kid from the kid from 6 hours ago? Yes.
Right.
You idiot.
Omega, Hera, and Cut's kids. At this point, that we know of.
Yeah,
4 kids
who
total.
knows? Maybe he volunteers at an orphanage in his spare time. I have no clue, but
I highly doubt it.
It doesn't seem likely to me either. But
doesn't Sham? I believe not Sham. Gobi later on. Doesn't he call them mercenaries? He straight up calls the Bad Batch mercenaries later on. So yeah, he's like, I didn't call them. These guys are mercenaries. And at that point, like Omega going, well, you guys are soldiers. Well, you're kind of soldiers for hire now.
From his perspective, they were arms dealers. I mean, geez, Pete's. They're
whatever you need them to
putting
be.
Out Fiverr gigs for whatever they can get.
Except babysitters. They are terrible babysitters.
Hey, they've kept her alive so far, right? She's only been captured.
She's only been kidnapped twice, right?
She got herself out of them.
Yeah.
But she was convincing enough, so why not? That's what soldiers do. Yeah, obviously, duh. It's pretty much the whole point of the show. So the Havoc Marauder is pulling into the canyons on Ryloth, where Hera is hiding out in one of Cham's secret bases. Maybe his only secret base. It's a secret base. I don't know, but they're there. And Hera tells the Bad Batch that the Empire is just arresting anybody loyal to her father because her father is Cham Syndulla, and of course, Goggles with
the freedom fighter.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Exposition. What a moron. And Hunter agrees to like assess the situation. We'll see what's going on, but no promises. He's still not really into this whole thing. So they go up to some mountainside. There's a lot of mountainous terrain here on Ryloth, I'm finding out. But they're up on some kind of cliff where they can oversee Rampart addressing the citizens of Ryloth gathered down in the square, which is another thing that they seem to do pretty regularly on Ryloth, is just get together in the square for an address from a balcony, which I've never been addressed from a balcony. I guess it would be a decent way to receive information, ? I have no idea. I don't know, but they're doing it. But Rampart comes out and he blames Cham for the attempted assassination. This is where...
Boo.
Okay, and I made a complaint about this on the live stream, and I'm going to mention it again. If you shoot a character in the side of the head with a sniper rifle...
It was just a graze.
Margaret, I'm not having it. I'm sick of it. He went down like a sack of potatoes. He got shot in the side of the head, and out comes Rampart like, oh, he's going to make a full recovery with no explanation. Not to the crowd, not to his henchmen behind the scenes, so we know. How did this work? They just found like the chunkiest Twi'lek to shoot in the side of the fat head.
A lot of Leku fat.
Good Lord. It demands an explanation, and I said it on the live stream. I made a lot of crazy predictions, like maybe this will happen, maybe that'll happen. I didn't expect any of them, but when I said, if you shoot someone in the head and they don't die, you have to explain how that happened, I fully believed that to be true. And no, here we are. He's going to make a full recovery. I have no idea how. No one knows how. It's absurd.
If Cad Bane didn't explain it, he just has a plate in his head. So if Ornfree Turd has a plate on the side of his head, you'll be satisfied?
We also never even saw Cad Bane get shot. We just saw that he has a plate now. We know he got shot because we heard the story about thing that was going to... You saw some unfinished animation of what was going to happen.
I saw what I saw, Kyle.
It lives.
Don't gaslight me into saying that that's canon, because it's not.
We have all of the results from that. I think it's I'm going on a limb. I'm scooping it up. I'm telling you, it's going to be canon.
That's what you call circumstantial.
If it dents like
evidence,
a helmet,
Josh.
if it plates like
it's
a head.
Circumstantial, I say.
I just like watching Josh get Kyle riled up.
It's my favorite pastime.
It's entertaining.
Ornfree is going to make a full recovery, of course, because sometimes when you get shot in the head by a sniper rifle, you're fine. You just get knocked out for a while.
And we know, Josh, I think you had found this. Ornfree does actually live. He's in a book that takes place later than this. Lords of the Sith. But in that book, did they mention a plate on his head at all?
I'm going to say no.
Maybe he has like a cybernetic
I
lake.
actually remember in chapter 14. No.
No, there's
I don't know.
no way.
I'm going to guess they didn't. But it will be interesting to see. Or he could look like Crosshair, because Crosshair's definitely got like the burn marks up on the back of his head. Maybe he's got some
blasted by
blaster bolt scarring there.
By a Star Destroyer engine, not a sniper rifle. Whatever.
I mean,
I'm above it. I'm just saying.
Smoking and yeah.
Well, smoking.
But he's going to make full recovery, people. So don't fret. Ornfree Turd is still alive. He's going to make it.
Turd.
with no explanation whatsoever as to how. Not a simple like, hey, Crosshair, good thing you turned down your blaster bolt so it wasn't lethal. Like, nothing. Whatever. Anyway. So, speaking of Crosshair, Omega spots him down in the city. And she's like, oh, Crosshair's here. And they're back up away from the ledge to, kind of discuss what they've seen. And that's when they get spotted by the probe droid that Hunter quickly disables. But now they know they've been spotted and they've got to make some decisions about what to do.
Yep. There you go.
The plasma bridge into the city's been deactivated. Watch there, we fly in and blow our way out. The capital scanners would detect our ship.
I don't like the look of this. The troop presence here is similar to that of Raxus. This is a military occupation.
Ryloth's not a separatist planet.
Exactly my point.
Yes.
He's not wrong. It is a military occupation at this point.
It definitely is. Yeah.
As much as Echo doesn't want to believe it, his brothers have essentially become...
Well, these guys are so thick-headed, too. He's like, this is a military occupation, because obviously... And then Hunter's like, but wait, this isn't a separatist planet. No.
That was
These
Echo.
are the bad guys now. Like, they're
like,
still not really, like,
your brothers,
fully getting it.
No, your brothers are now the bad guys. And Echo... Because Echo, again, I think he just doesn't want to... He hasn't fully... figured that out yet, especially like with the one, was it Raxus, where they saved the senator and he just didn't want to help him because he thought he was a separatist, but he couldn't see the bigger picture at that time of, again, this military occupation where the clones have now become what you were fighting to save those people against. So even though you don't have a chip, you still don't understand it.
Well, I'll give Echo a little bit of leeway because he was attached to a computer and tortured for like a year and a half, but the others,
Echo's
like,
a sweet boy.
Get it together. Like, here's a quarter.
No,
Go
it's not
buy
just
a
Echo.
glue.
It's all
Give
of
me a
them.
break.
Yeah.
These people are.
Yeah.
Okay. Get on board, guys. So they go back to Cham's base and they're like, look, little girl, we can't help you. Things are way too hot here. There's too much going on. We can take you to some place. But you're stuck. And Hera's desperate. She's like, well, I'll pay you double. Hunter gives her the old, like, hey, your credits are no good to me if we're all dead. You know, we can't spend them in the old afterlife. And Hunter's like, it's just not worth the risk. And Hera says, not to you. Which, good point. Risk is relative, right? They're her parents. And Omega's not pumped. This is like her first bestie that she's ever had in her life. So she's like, Hunter, you shouldn't have said that. And Hunter,
bestie.
It is, isn't it? It's like her first, she's never met anyone her age. This is like, she barely learned how to be a child.
What about
3
Cut's
episodes
kids?
a kid. What? Yeah, and then they're gone forever. They didn't call her back for a second play date.
What about Mooch? I don't know. Is this considered a play date to Omega? Like,
yes,
let's go rescue
she
some
loves
parents.
This.
All right.
She's like, couldn't be happier. She's like, this is her favorite thing.
It's
Are
her
you
jam.
kidding me? Is this a play date? She's like digging every moment of it.
It's a little different than getting together to play some Halo, though. You could actually die doing this. Like,
sure,
it's not like, hey, come over, let's play some Nintendo.
I mean, it's what
slightly different.
It's what she was born for.
Yeah,
Justin.
true.
Mean, I think she's having a blast. Yes, there's an element of danger, but there kind of always is in their line of work. But Omega's like, you shouldn't have said that. She just wants to protect her family. I would do the same for you guys. And that hits them in the feelings a little bit. They have to do this over and over. Kind of the same thing repeated with these two. But there it is. And so while they're mulling that over, we're going to cut back to Rampart and Howzer. And Rampart's telling him how arresting some of Cham's supporters isn't good enough. He wants them all. And Howzer's like, well, we can't just arrest all these innocent people. We're going to provoke an uprising. And Rampart's like, well, cool, we'll just arrest them too. Peace has a cost. what a villain thing to say. Like, yeah, well, you want to not be at war, then we're going to have to lock some people up in jail. Those are the only choices, apparently. Like, oh gosh, give me a break. And then Crosshair comes in right after they're having this debate to tell Rampart that he has spotted Clone Force 99. And this is, of course, a hot button topic for Crosshair. This is like a clear trigger for him, pun intended. And Rampart's like, oh, we've got a whole battalion of troopers. And Crosshair says that's not enough. He knows what these guys are capable of. Which is really saying something. I don't know if you'd call it respect or what, but Crosshair's saying we need more than a battalion to take out these... whatever handful
highly
of men
trained.
and a little girl is saying something about how capable they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something?
The end of that conversation was great though, because like Rampart basically says, well, your job was to find a little girl, and he said, I'm more worried about you. Your job is to find a little girl, and you haven't even done that yet. So
yeah, Rampart's
he goes,
taking
if you
dicks at
can't do
everybody he
that,
can get.
yeah, if you can't do that, then I'll find somebody else who can. And at that point, Crosshair looks back at Howzer standing there. And this is what was kind of like when we got to the end, which we'll talk about in a little bit. This is what I thought was setting up that end for him for Crosshair to just pick off Howzer and be like, look, I'm done with this fool. And because he turns around, he just stares him down, and there's that ominous Crosshair music, the noise or whatever that is that they play for his music, and he just kind of walk. I was expecting the shoulder bump as he was walking out next to Howzer, like the
no love lost.
Yeah,
that's clear.
No.
This is when we cut to Omega coming to kind of console Hera and also stick up for Hunter a little bit, who doesn't have the most tact, especially with young people. And she says, that's just sort of his way. And Hera asks him why she trusts Hunter so much. And she says, well, he's my brother. They all are.
He's my brother.
So we can play that.
I didn't give up. He did.
Hunter means well. I know you're scared, but don't give up. He'll come around.
Why do you trust him so much?
Because he's my brother.
Brother? Him?
They all are.
You're lucky.
You can trust them too. All we need to do is think of a plan and convince Hunter.
Why would he listen to me?
Because it's strategic. Ryloth is your home. You know it better than us.
Yes, I do.
I don't know what Chopper's saying,
I
but
need a translation for that. I don't know what he says either.
It just says like Chopper. When you put it on the subtitles, it's just
it doesn't tell
Chopper
you.
talking or something. I wish it gave what he was saying, but the end of that, he was. He did not sound too happy.
Many years
excited.
ago, in the infancy of the internet, there used to be a website that would tell you everything that Kenny said on South Park, which is also like kind of muffled. But I wonder if there's something like that for Chopper out there somewhere.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? That's all we get from those two. That's just that little side conversation back in their secret base there. And we're back to the Syndulas plus Gobi locked in their cell, and Howzer comes to see him. And clearly Cham and company are not pumped about it. Yeah, they're not pleased with him. And Cham gives him the old, I see what side you've chosen. And Howzer, fair enough, he says, you attacked an Imperial convoy. What did you think was going to happen? Like, this is the only possible outcome, that's a fair point. Like, you're not gonna just attack the convoy with the senator in it and have no repercussions. And Eleni argues that they were protecting their daughter, which is fair. And Howzer does the super suspicious looking, like looks over both shoulders and says, that's what I'm trying to do, and then kind of begs him to tell him where she is going to be hiding. But they're not having it. They're not going to trust him.
Nope.
And Cham says, we won't make that mistake of trusting you again.
Ouch. And I like the Howzer, I get Howzer's theme, the music that goes with Howzer. It's more like a trumpet kind of solo background to it. And here it was very somber, I guess is the right word to use. Like it started off kind of cool and then it kind of trailed off and was a little somber towards the end, but it's definitely, it's like, all right, the distrust of Howzer right now is very real for the Syndulas.
And I think he like intellectually understands where everyone is coming from. He knows how he got into the position he's in, and he understands how the Syndulas are in their position too. But I think that legitimately probably hurts him because he does like them and he did fight by their side. And Ryloth did win their freedom, or they felt like they had, and then this happened. And I'm sure that, that does cause him like some personal anguish.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back to Hera, who has come up with a plan. Now that she's the expert of Ryloth, she has used her. It's just strategy. So let's hear what she's got up her sleeve. She doesn't really have sleeves.
The Imperial Refinery on the outskirts.
I've been spying on their activity. I know their routine. If we attack there, reinforcements will be diverted from the capital.
We can use that distraction to rescue Hera's parents.
Any heavy defenses at the refinery?
5 perimeter cannons, but they are unmanned.
Autocannons are extremely vulnerable. Where is the control console?
Right inside the main gate. It is heavily guarded, but Chopper can slip inside with the other droids and disable the cannons.
Just thinking about it.
All right, you two go with Chopper as backup,
plan,
but at a distance.
Really?
We're not
by themselves.
Not expecting
Wrecker. Wait until those cannons are down and move in. Echo and I will scale the capital wall and free Hera's parents. I guess we'll follow your lead.
There was a great reaction by Omega and Hera, because in Hera's voice, you hear her really excited, like, really? And then you hear Omega like, really? Like questioning, like, you're gonna let me do this? Okay.
This, they didn't really explain it, but they cut to some kind of transport dropping off what I guess is like workers for the mine, and Chopper had just somehow been on there with them. So they must have smuggled him on at the onboarding or whatever. So he's inside the refinery there. And he jumps in line with some other astromechs, which is, it's funny to me because he so obviously stands out, because they're all like the domed ones like R2-D2, and he clearly has the flat top with the little satellite transmitter situation, but nobody notices, and he makes it all the way to the console just like the plan specified, and he zaps whatever droid was there and scomps in. That's a word we learned earlier in this series. And it doesn't work.
You can't do it.
It's unsuccessful. It's complete failure. Step 1 of the plan already failed. And now 2 clone troopers spot him, and he does his, like, put his 2 little alligator arms up in surrender, and they're carting him away. And Hera knows they got to help him. They've got to do something. If they don't, complete phase 1, then obviously they're not going to take out the cannons, which means they're not going to cause a distraction, which means her parents aren't getting rescued. So Omega's like, yeah, we'll help him, but first we got to take out this console. How are we going to do that? And Omega points down to a new class attack transport shuttle, and she's like, hey, you said you wanted to be a pilot. This is your time to shine. So they're going to hijack this just kind of unattended shuttle and wreak some havoc.
I love watching Chopper when he gets to electrocute people, because he takes it. It looks like he takes so much joy in it, both here and in Rebels.
I think that's confirmed. He loves it.
He's a little angsty, if you will. He loves to shock people.
Have you guys ever seen there's like some meme that's floating around the social medias about the estimated death tolls for different Star Wars characters, and Chopper's is like in the hundreds and hundreds, maybe millions, hundreds of thousands. It's so huge.
How is that possible?
I'm not sure. Like, he must have sabotaged a Star Destroyer or something that just had tons of people. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's not even true. But I've seen it on Instagram, I think, like multiple times. If anyone is listening to this and knows what I'm talking about and knows how Chopper has allegedly, I'm not gonna assign this burden to him without proof, but if anybody knows how Chopper has racked up such a high body count, I would be interested to hear. We get a quick little shot of Hunter and Echo scaling the wall to get in to rescue the Syndulas, and then that's it. We're right back to Omega and Hera, who are about to board this shuttle.
Frightening.
Yeah, it's a scary thought. Remember, we saw in the last episode, we as viewers know that Hera is destined to be a phenomenal pilot, one of the best non-force using pilots out there. But she's never taken off yet. So this is going to be a first. She's flying by the seat of her pants. She's learning by doing. It doesn't go super well, if we're being honest. It is a very novice takeoff with a little bit of collateral damage. Almost took out a couple workers there, but they get off the ground and no one really knows what's going on, and they're able to rescue Chopper, take out the console. Chopper kind of like uses the distraction to zap the two troopers, which, like Justin said, he loves that. And then they take out the main console there, which disables all these turrets. Chopper flies up into their ship, so he's back with the girls, and they start flying around to take out the gun turrets that are now disabled.
Do you think Hera is more likely to listen to Fly by Sugar Ray while she's flying, or Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz?
Oh, Sugar Ray, for sure. She just wants to fly.
That's wrong. It's Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, no.
There's a whole bunch more.
I know, I was trying to think of cheesy 90s ones, though, so Kyle would put the clip in.
That is a cheesy 90s one.
Oh, he's baiting me. He's trying to give me extra work.
How'd that go again?
That's the one that's going in, whether Josh said it was wrong or not.
There you go. I loved the Tech Poe Dameron maneuver when he and Wrecker fly the Havoc Marauder in there.
It was a little
maneuver, but it's the hit the gas, slam on the brake, kick the back end out, air brakes maneuver to get Wrecker in position to take out some cannons. So Poe Dameron, not the first one to use that maneuver, people.
I feel like Maverick was doing that in Top Gun too. But I mean, this takes place a long time ago, so I guess it all predates that.
True.
Even though it was the 80s. Yeah,
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy maneuvers going on up there between Hera's erratic, unpredictable flying and Tech doing whatever he's doing with Wrecker wrecking stuff.
Yeah,
being his namesake.
Yeah, she. It was interesting.
Yeah, Tech asks about the explosions he hears, and Omega's like, "Yeah, that was us. Don't worry about it. The weapons are down," and she says something about just don't shoot down our shuttle, and they're like, wait a minute, that was not part of the plan. But The Havoc Marauder, like Justin was saying, the Havoc Marauder and Tech with Wrecker on the guns come in and they start causing some damage. And now the plan is back on track. The distraction has been created and they're calling for reinforcements. So all the clone troopers are headed that way. This is where we see Howzer informing Rampart that the refinery is under attack, and Rampart says he's going to go deal with it himself and tells Howzer to stay there and guard the capital.
Boo.
I know. Now we get back to Hunter and Echo, who we already saw scale the walls in just that like quick little cutscene, and they've taken out some clone guards, and they get to the cell to free the Syndulas. And Gobi Glee is like, what are these guys doing here? These are mercenaries, but I didn't hire them. And they're like, Hera hired us. And that's, they're like, well, Cham asks if she's safe. And of course, they're like, yeah, she's okay. And they're off. They're trying to escape. They're getting broken out. They're on their way. And we're cut back to Hera, who's having a grand time up in the air.
What are you doing here?
Breaking you out.
You know them. They are mercenaries, but I didn't hire them for this.
Hera did.
Hera, where is she? Is she safe?
We are getting the hang of this.
Yes, your dangerous and uncontrolled maneuvering is as confusing to them as it is to us.
I'm sorry, that was
what a nerd.
That was
I get so sick
next to the Echo line a couple episodes ago. That's probably the second funniest line I think I've heard in this show.
I did like the Echo gag. This one, Tech.
Yeah, the Echo gag is still
Tech's not it for me. He
first
gets on
in
my
my book.
He grates on my patience.
This one was pretty good.
And then we see, I liked this part. We see Crosshair running out with his little squad of evildoers, and he thinks and he sees all these transports taken off, and he realizes that the capital is like completely unguarded. He's like, no, we're staying here. That's not the real target. He kind of figures out the plan because he used to be part of the team. He knows the playbook. So
what's up?
Even though this was technically Hera's plan, but he just kind of telegraphed it. Maybe he's just a great tactician or whatever. So he posts up on a balcony. There's lots of balconies here in the Ryloth Square, and he's got the they look like riot troopers to me, but there's they're shielded up and they're guarding the main exit that Cham and his people are about to walk out with the Bad Batch, who are rescuing them. But Howzer stops them.
Cham, wait! You're walking into a trap.
There's a squad out there waiting.
Why should we trust you?
Because I'm on your side. What the Empire is doing is wrong. You have to get out of here. They have the exits blocked.
We can use Senator Taz's shuttle in his private tower hangar.
I'm sorry, General. I should have stopped this sooner.
Our fight for Ryloth is not over. We will return.
You can't stay here. They'll know you helped us.
I will not abandon my squad. They're good men. I have to try to get through to them. Go, while there's still time.
The end of this was great because as they're running off, Hunter kind of stays back and he looks back at Howzer and he's standing in front of the door and he puts his helmet back on, knowing what he's about to walk into. And there could be a number of different things, I think, going through Hunter's head at that moment. Like, hey, should I tell him to come with us? Should I tell him about the chip? Yeah. But I think he understands Howzer has to go on his own way and do what he's got to do at that point. And the troops out front reminded me a lot of like the Macquarie concept stormtroopers, where they like the old ones had the riot shields like on their forearm, like they had lightsabers. Yeah. So it's kind of what the shields are. I don't think we've seen them used in other episodes, but it was kind of cool to see that in this episode.
Yeah, I liked them too, and I liked the whole setup and the trap just kind of being laid there for them, and Howzer taking the high road here, and he addresses the whole squad of. Well, actually, right before that, Hunter calls to Tech, and he's like, we've got our own transport now. They're going to get on the Senator's transport, and they're going to meet him at the rendezvous. And Tech says, that's good because they're kind of picking up some heat there, so they're all leaving at the same time, and Crosshair's all set up here with his trap, ready to spring. And when the doors open up, it is not the Bad Batch and the Syndulas. It is everybody's favorite clone, Howzer.
Brothers, what are we doing? We came here to free Ryloth from Separatist control, and we succeeded. But look around you. We're now being ordered to target the very people we swore to protect, and I will not be a part of it any longer.
Throw that weapon down, baby.
Who will stand with me?
About 10 or 12 of them.
Arrest those traitors.
Oh, there's about 10 of them, I think, that joined him.
Their mutiny did not last long. They were immediately taken into custody, and Crosshair sees the shuttle take off. He takes a shot at it, but he misses. Oddly enough, he's never missed. In one episode, we saw him lay down a bunch of little reflective discs and take out 45 battle droids with one shot, but he missed an entire transport shuttle. Anyway, he missed it, and they're flying off to the rendezvous point.
One, he's shook. So I think that's why he missed. And two, I found myself wondering if Howzer's little mutiny was the straw that broke the camel's back on making the final decision to move from clones to regular humans.
I think it's one of the catalysts for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's other events, but thinking about how this happened directly under Rampart's watch, and he's the one that's pushing for getting rid of the clones.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see that. And what a way for our boy Howzer to go down in history. It's being the turning point with his little speech there. And that brings us to pretty much the end of the episode here. We see everybody converging on some hangar bay, which is back on Ord Mantell. And the Syndulas are offering to pay the Bad Batch, and Hunter says, no, you better keep it. You're going to need it because they're on the run from the Empire now, which is not a good position to be in, I think. Safe to say. And Cham says, I'd hoped I fought my last war, but our people need us now more than ever, and he knows he is right back in the thick of things. You can tell that Hunter gives this look over to the rest of his squad and Omega over there, and you can tell that Hunter and Cham both are concerned about protecting their loved ones and the people around them, and specifically the children. And I really liked Eleni's line that, if a war is coming, it'll be their fight as much as ours, and it just shows that this galaxy's been living in turmoil and war for generations. And I love the little side comment from Hera about Tech showed her how to scramble a signature, because we know from Rebels that's it's the ghost, because no one can identify it, and the signature is scrambled. And of course her family's about to go on the run now, and that's going to be useful for them. And her and Omega do their goodbye, and the Syndulas are off. We already know that they have exchanged social media contacts so they can be in touch. She says to look out for her brothers, and I'm sure I'll see you again, all these things. And the last little bit we get is Rampart back at the refinery with Crosshair, where he admits that he did underestimate Clone Force 99, and Crosshair asks for permission to hunt them down, which Rampart gives him. And so I guess that's probably going to be the main through line of our last 4 episodes here, I would think, is Crosshair hunting them down in some kind of culmination of what happens when they confront each other.
Letting them go.
Yep.
It's time.
And that's it. That's the end of the episode. We are done. 4 left. 75% of the way through the season. Coming down the home stretch.
Feels like it's gone fast.
Does it?
For some reason. I mean, I know it's
been 3 months. Seems like I've
16 episodes,
written a lot of notes.
but
seems like a long time to me.
I mean, seeing where we're at now, and you're going, man, where were we just yesterday with these characters? Yeah. Like it's come a long way, and more so, I think, in the recent episodes than the first couple. But the show's been fun to watch. I love the Rebels interaction and bringing other characters from the Star Wars universe into it. Yeah, I love seeing that. And, for everybody that was, I think, a little disappointed in the previous episode because you only saw 5 seconds of the Bad Batch, you should have had plenty here. And I think hopefully that helps you understand the exposition that they were setting up last week. So, you can't get every episode like that. You got to build something. Dave doesn't do anything for no reason. We've learned that. There's something behind it. So,
which
great episode.
Speaking of that exact thing you just said, Hera said to Omega, "I'm sure I'll see you again." So when are we going to get the story of Hera and Omega being besties again, being BFFs, space besties?
She has a bestie now. She has a BFF. So all is right with the world. What about Gonki? Is Gonki not her BFF?
Wow.
Sometimes
Lula
people
is
move
her
on.
BFF. Lula.
You think that's the best? That's the best Omega can do is a gonk droid. I mean, give me a break.
No,
what a terrible best friend.
That's insulting to the gonk droid. But
is it? It doesn't speak or even have arms or do anything.
He has feelings, though, apparently, because when Hunter called him defective, he was clearly upset by it.
Was he?
But, I mean, when you're on a ship and that's really all you got, I mean, maybe that was her best friend at that point.
Their feet, I guess. I don't know.
Very true, too. Yeah. I don't know. Solid episode. Enjoyed it thoroughly. It was... love watching Chop just shock people. He takes pleasure in his torture of others. It's funny to watch. I need a Chopper translator stat, people. Yeah. Stat. Need it now.
I'll add it to the list.
Somebody create a Google Chopper translator, please. We need it. Any other thoughts? Oh, go ahead, Josh.
They'd have to change the rating on the show, I think.
It's all curse words all the time.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yes. Somebody put that up on, it was a Twitter poll, and I don't remember who put it up there. It was, who do you think swears more, Chopper or R2? And I'm like, Chopper.
Oh, Chopper by
far.
miles. Chopper also has a higher
far.
death count. I'm pretty sure Chopper is killed, and he'll kill again.
I think in the vote, it was like 60-some to 30-some% in favor of Chop. So, not surprising. He is vulgar.
He is. He's a dangerous little thing.
It's like Dave's alter ego. He's like this very, okay, well, maybe we'll do this and add this. And then here's Chopper. But yeah.
Yeah.
Great episode. Anybody else have any thoughts, feelings on the show, on the episode?
I still cannot stand Tech.
Teak.
Tech has no feeling. Teak.
Oh.
Teak.
Yeah, no one's a big fan of goggles around here. It's well established.
No. Yeah, he has no feelings. All right, well, let's blow this thing and get out of here.
Can I say one more thing really quick before you do that?
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.
It's cool. I'll just say it in the middle later.
The soundtrack really said, no Kyle, no talking.
I've already met my word quota for the episode.
Well, that was the recap of, what is this, episode 12? Rescue on Ryloth of the Bad Batch. Kyle, any final thoughts?
Oh, no, I was going to just say... I was going to say something about Chopper's death count, which is super high because he sabotaged the Indictor and caused it to explode, and also took down 2 Imperial cruisers with it. So that was something like 47,000 people right there. So yes, he's racked up some huge numbers in the kill
serial
counts.
killer.
Yeah, there's
serial
Chopper.
killer.
Don't mess with him.
Yeah, don't mess with him. Worse than 000 in BD.
Bigger numbers, but
maybe theirs are more painful.
It's all relative.
Well, obviously they're not counting deaths on orders because it'd probably be Hux.
Good point. True.
The amount of planets that were blown up in the sequel trilogy.
Oh, yeah. Well, but we're talking droids. We're not talking people.
I don't know what I was talking. I was just saying Chopper killed a bunch of people, and you should.
Or are we talking just people? I don't know. We're talking droids, people. Lots of people kill people in the Star Wars universe.
Anytime I can.
But it's for kids. It's for kids.
Quote, poor kids.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the breakdown of episode 12. As always, join us on Friday night live stream, Bad Batch Orb Force 99, every Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
There's only 4 left in the season.
And you know what?
Yep, they're a lot of fun.
It's hip to be square.
Oh, look at you.
Huey Lewis has arrived.
Everybody's trying to make this the longest edited episode in history. Curse words, music references. I'm the one who said the curse word, full disclosure, but still.
Yeah. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. Join us on Friday when we recap, kind of do a instant follow up on the show, and then we do our deep dives on Tuesday for the recorded shows. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But you can catch us anywhere on the social medias, Outer Rim Beacon at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us anywhere podcasts are. What is SoundCloud, iTunes, all of the rest.
There's so many places.
There's so many places. There's anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. You can email us, outerrimbeacon@gmail.com. My name is Justin. You can find me on Twitter at IamTheBendu. Where can they find you guys at?
This is Josh. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Battle of Tanab.
This is Kyle, and I am KB_legend on all the social medias, especially Venmo.
And this is Maggie. You can find me on Twitter at Maggie of the Town, and I have a handy little link tree in my bio so you can find all of my various pursuits. You can find reviews for those 2 comics, or 2 of the 3 comics we talked about at the start of the episode tomorrow.
Maggie's ahead of us. Gotta catch up.
Always.
I gotta catch up on a lot of them, but maybe that's what I'll do when I get off here is go dive into some comics, so we'll see what happens though. I don't know. Everybody have a great week. Join us Friday night. We'd love to have you there. We have a lot of fun. Come hang out with us. As always, may the Force be with you.
Always. Did everybody
Later.
Everybody do what there's miracle.
It's me, Killer
Don't
Bones.
don't ruin it.
You brought that on yourself.
I know.